Lawyers for the man convicted for his role in the brutal murders of two Richmond families on New Year's Day nearly a decade ago appeared before a three-judge panel today as he tried to get his death sentence overturned. CBS 6's Jake Burns joins us now live. He was in the courtroom for the proceedings for Ricky Gray. Jake?
Well, Cheryl, Ricky Gray has appealed his convictions before the Virginia Supreme Court, and a federal court ruled against him. This appeal today extends that process, and the crux of the argument from his new lawyers is that his trial lawyers were ineffective with their arguments, and that resulted in him not getting a fair trial. Now, there's a lot of legs to that, exactly how that manifests itself, but most of the evidence today was about Gray's PCP use the day of the murders. He admitted that he was on the drug when he murdered the Harvey family back in 2006, admitted that to police, but his original defense didn't bring in the proper experts to fully explain that drug use, according to his new attorneys. They say that, in fact, they would have shown that his testimony wouldn't have actually been what it was because he had taken so much PCP he couldn't really fully remember the details that he gave to police. Therefore, the theory is that he couldn't really use that testimony in court because of the drug use. Now, prosecutors base their entire case off of that confession, so that's why they think that he should at least get a hearing on his side of the evidence, Gray's side of the evidence in this case. Now, as for the Commonwealth's attorney, they obviously disagree with that claim. They say there's no evidence of how much he used, how much PCP he used that day, and also they say he admitted to investigators and attorneys that, in fact, the PCP didn't influence his decision-making process. Now, moments ago, we did speak with Robert Lee, who is one of Ricky Gray's attorneys, and he spoke with Ricky Gray not long ago in jail, and he talked a little bit about that experience.
Well, Mr. Gray is very remorseful of the things that happened, and he's interested in getting a fair hearing, concerned that he hasn't had a fair hearing.
Now, the three-judge panel will rule on that appeal likely in the next 120 days or so, according to sources very close to this case. The next step is, if Gray loses that, he could appeal to the entire Fourth Circuit or the U.S. Supreme Court, and if he wins, it would be sent back down to a lower court. He has been sentenced to the death penalty, but because of the appeals process, no execution date has been set. Cheryl?
All right, our Jake Burns reporting live from downtown.